What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another Nakamil video here, and welcome to the first ever review of 2026. So what we have here is another parcel from Shopee. It's covered in this white plastic bag, and it appears to be, it's a little solid, I guess. But let's take a look at our previous review. Well, the final haul of 2025. On the last review, we had previously featured the Shadowjack Mark II, the Racing Bulls V-Carb 02, and this ultra rare super treasure hunt version of the 2024 Celerio GT. This review right here is going to be very related to the Racing Bulls V-Carb 02. Why? Well, you will see. Now, without further ado, let's just get this thing open. Because what else to say? Oh, jeez. So wrapped. The seal breaker sadly disappeared for whatever reason. Oh wait, I think I might have found a way to open this without using the seal breaker. Okay, so I managed to cut it with using whatever seal breaker. And oh my gosh, there's more tape here. I think I should take this out. Yep. Oh my god! Seriously? Remember the time in the Spree Part 1 last year? Oh my goodness. Remember the time in the Spree Part 1 last year where one of the cars had multiple layers of wrapping all over them, and I had to cut it multiple times just to get this thing out. Well, I can see a little bit of the car in there. Can you guys see it too? It looks a little bit like this, the shape after all. Yeah, I see it in there. We need to take off a little bit more of the wrapping. Oh. Goodness, there's so many layers. Oh, it's fairly visible now. You can basically see the resemblance of the shape. Can you see it now? Except there's shell. Why is there shell? There's an HP logo. Wait, shell, HP. You know what this means. Uh-oh. There's so many layers on this thing. Oh, I can see the rear wing. Oh my goodness. This thing has so many layers. Oh. This right here is the Ferrari sf-25. Now you see why I said it resembles this. That's why it's part of this line right here. Because I was talking about a Ferrari sf-25. Now this is not Spectre Flame. This is not Spectre Flame. It looks like Spectre Flame, but no, it's just metallic red. Let's get this car out of the bag here. Whoa, gotta be careful. Oh, ho, ho, ho. This is actually my first modern Ferrari Formula 1 car. The other Ferrari I have is the F2007, which is the one with the Spectre Flame paint. This one is more of metallic red. Oh, I can see a little bit of a decal error right here. See how it's not aligned? Now let's take a closer look at this car, shall we? Let's take a look at the front nose here. There's the Genesis. There's no number here. That's supposed to be like 16 for Charles Leclerc and 44 for Lewis Hamilton. And then we have the Shell logo right here. AWS, the IBM, Pirelli, Unicredit, and of course the Ferrari logo. Now let's take a look at the side here. We have the IBM, the Siba Logistics, another one of the Shell logos. There's the Ray-Ban, and then the Unicredit. And then the side here looks the same thing, but it's in a completely different pattern. And then we have the rear of the car. Then there's the base. It's basically the same thing as the rest of the F1 cars I have here. See? I just better hope this car does not have any flaws here, unlike some Formula 1 car, because you can see here the right rear is elevated a little, and this does not allow it to make contact with any solid whatsoever, but it does make contact with cloth for some reason. As you can see here, the outer rings are yellow instead of blue or orange as seen in the McLaren. I'm just only trying to make sure this car doesn't have any flaws, any manufacturing flaws. I guess this is what you call an early access, eh? Because this car isn't even out in the stores, not even out in the main lines whatsoever. I think this is what's called an early access. I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, when I started watching F1 in 2023, well, it's all because of Real Racing 3. Rest in peace, Real Racing 3. Drive to the finish line, because, well, that game is gonna shut down. Well, it's already taken off the App Store or in the Google Play Store. Well, when I started watching Formula 1 in 2023, I was a fan of this team. I was a big fan of Ferrari and Carlos Sainz when he was still driving on the team, and he was the only one who scored a win that isn't from Red Bull. Because as far as you remember, in 2023, Max Verstappen absolutely dominated the 2023 season. And look, Max is a great driver. I just don't like him a lot. I just don't like Max. But no, it is undeniable. Don't get me wrong. It is undeniable that he is the greatest It is undeniable that he is the greatest Formula 1 driver of the ground effect era. He had a lot of wins, 67 wins. Oh, don't say it, mate. Don't say it. So he has 67 wins and a lot of pole positions. He was so close to clinching the title on Abu Dhabi. He had a lot of points. He had a huge point deficit there last year. He was like over 100 points behind Piastri, and then when Piastri started bottling it, he was only 2 points behind Lando. Well, it is undeniable he's the GOAT. But as I said, I don't really like him that much. I like him, but not that much because of the 2023 season, because of how he made the season boring. And another reason is because of his fan base. I don't want to talk about that fan base. For sure, Max is a great driver, but he has a really very toxic fan base, and the 2023 season was just boring. But you might be wondering, what made me switch from this team to this team? Well, let's be clear here. Carlos Sainz was my favorite driver, the driver I was rooting for during his time in Ferrari, especially since he won in the Australian Grand Prix after he had an appendicitis in Saudi Arabia in 2024. But unfortunately, Ferrari ditched Carlos Sainz for Lewis Hamilton. Unfortunately, he had a terrible season last year. He even lost his dog. Rest in peace, Roscoe Hamilton. Both drivers had a very terrible season with a lot of strategy errors and crashes, DNFs, etc., etc. Unfortunately, there's a thing called Ferrari depression because the fans have been experiencing too much of this lately. Honestly, I feel bad for the fans. I used to cheer for this team, but I switched to this because other than Carlos Sainz winning Singapore, because I switched to this because other than Carlos Sainz being replaced by Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris also caught up to Max Verstappen during the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and then I started to have a lot of faith in Lando that he will win the 2024 title. But look at how many mistakes he made throughout the 2024 season, and especially Brazil. He lost the title in Brazil. He messed up his own restart, and honestly, Lando didn't deserve the 2024 title. He deserved the 2025 one, but not the 2024 title. It was Max who deserved it. But I think that's all I can say, that the reason I switched from Ferrari to McLaren is because one, Carlos Sainz was replaced by Hamilton, and two, Lando had a chance of winning the 2024 title until he botched it. Now, let's just have a comparison. This is honestly a very, very short review, which is not what I expected, because I expected this review to be longer, but this is a single Ferrari car I'm talking about here. It looks a little bit Spectraflame, but it's not Spectraflame. This is what Spectraflame looks like here in the Super Treasure Hunt. Let's just try to compare the color schemes. Focus phone, focus. Yeah, it's not Spectraflame. It looks like Spectraflame, but it isn't. Let me compare you to my actual Spectraflame Formula 1 car. Now this is the Spectraflame. This is a previous generation Ferrari. This is the F2007, and this is the sf-25 right here. Let's just compare the color schemes of both cars. And yeah, they both look metallic. They both look like metallic red here, but this one here is Spectraflame, and this is just basically metallic red. You can see how shiny this car is. And this is also shiny, but this is not the Spectraflame color. Let's just compare. Now let's just move on to the comparisons now, because this is a really short review. I was not expecting it to be this short. Let's compare the previous generation Ferrari to the modern Ferrari. Honestly, they're about the same length, but if it's real life, honestly, this is just about the same length, but if it's real life, this car is gonna be a lot bigger. You have the front. Oh my god, this phone isn't focusing again. Stop focusing on the background. Go. We have the sides. Then the rear. The left. And then we have the base. Now let's compare it to an actual Formula 1 car. You see, this one doesn't have the rivets. So this is one of the flaws here. This is not a manufacturing flaw, because the car had lost its rivets. Because the seller had removed the rivets. This has just basically de-riveted everything, and I had to glue it back together with super glue because I cannot afford any rivets. Let's just compare it to the McLaren here. Here we have the top view of the car. Then we have the front. We have the side of the car. We have the rear. And then we have the left side. And then the base. The only difference is the color of the nose and the front wing, and the lack of the rivets. Now let's just compare it to the V-carb here. Here we have the top. Oh jeez, I don't want to damage the car. Here we have the front, the side, the rear, the left side, and then the base. So yeah, oh jeez. That is gonna be it for January's review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Not Camilo, signing out.